Every A/B test in ABConvert makes the same case. Opinions aren't data. Testing lets you validate a change with real visitor behavior before you roll it out to everyone, so you're making confident decisions, not guesses. Here's how it works. An A/B test splits your visitors into groups. A control group sees your current experience. A variant group sees the change you want to test. And ABConvert tracks each group through your funnel, view, cart, checkout, and shows you which one performs better. Every test in ABConvert follows the same flow, whichever of the 8 test types you're running. Step 1 is basic info, your test name and hypothesis. Step 2 is your audience, who gets shown the test. Step 3 is the variant itself, what actually changes, and step 4 is your final review before you launch. Learn this flow once and you can set up any test type correctly. So let's build one. First, the basic info. Start with the name. A good test name tells you exactly what was tested months later. Homepage hero, lifestyle photo versus product photo, June 2026. Name every test this way and your list stays easy to manage. You can see at a glance what's been tested and what's next. Next, the hypothesis, don't skip it. A test without a hypothesis is just a random change. Write it with this pattern. If I make this change, I expect this outcome measured by this metric. If I swap the hero to a product photo, I expect more visitors to add to cart measured by conversion rate. Now the result actually means something. It confirms or rejects your expectation. By default, ABConvert creates control and variant A, split 50-50. You can go up to 5 groups total, including control, to test more than one change at once. But if this is your first test, we recommend starting with just 1 variant and 1 control, 2 groups total. As a rule of thumb, each group needs about 100 conversions for a result you can trust. At a 2% conversion rate, that's roughly 5,000 visitors per group. Every group you add raises that bar. On to step 2, deciding who's in your test. Traffic allocation controls what percentage of your visitors can enter the test to begin with. The default is 100%. But if you run a large store and want to test something risky without exposing everyone, set it lower, like 20%. Everyone else just sees your normal store and isn't counted. Don't confuse allocation with your group split. Allocation is the gate. It decides how many visitors enter the test at all. The split divides the visitors who made it through, so 20% allocation with a 50-50 split means 10% of all your visitors see the variant. Audience filters narrow down who enters the test: country, device type, traffic source, or new versus returning visitors. You can use a filter to sharpen a test around a specific segment. Say you think visitors from Meta ads are more price sensitive than visitors from Google. Filter to Meta traffic and test exactly that. The new versus returning filter deserves a note. Visitor labeling is built into the ABConvert app embed, the same single embed that runs all your tests. It records each visitor's first arrival in their browser. Only the first visit after your test starts counts as new. Any other visit counts as returning. To make this filter reliable, have the app embed enabled at least 2 weeks before you launch, and keep it on, so your existing customers are already stamped as returning. There's also force assign, which overrides the random split and sends specific visitors to a specific group. Be careful with this one. Random assignment is what makes a test fair. Use force assign only when you have a real constraint, like making sure existing subscribers always see the current price, not to steer the outcome. Last one, exclusion groups. Say you're running a price test and a template test at the same time, and both affect the same product page. If the same visitor lands in both, you can't tell which change drove the result. Put the 2 tests in an exclusion group and each visitor enters only one of them. Clean data, clear answers. After the audience step, the next step is to configure what makes that test type unique. Prices, offers, shipping rates, templates, or redirects. We do a deep dive into each one in its own video. The last step is your final check. The review screen summarizes your whole experiment: groups, traffic split, audience rules, and your step 3 configuration. Read it once before you launch. Always use preview before you launch. It puts you in a specific group's experience, walks the full buyer journey as that visitor, product page, cart, checkout. A broken variant pollutes your data and can cost you weeks of bad results. When everything looks right, click Launch and ABConvert starts assigning visitors immediately. Once your test is running, click it to open the analytics dashboard. You'll see each group side by side, conversion rate, revenue per visitor, and the full funnel. Early results are noisy, so give it at least 2 weeks before you draw a conclusion. We cover reading results in depth in the analytics series. There's a lot more in there. Breakdowns by country, device and source, product groups, custom funnels, advanced filters. We cover all of that in the separate analytics series. That's the structure behind every test in ABConvert. Name it, write a hypothesis, set your groups and audience, preview, and launch. Each test type video covers what makes that type unique. Start with the price test if that's the one you want to run first. Not on ABConvert yet. Start a free trial and follow along.